Alright, we're streaming. Nice little half-hour hiatus between starting and continuing.
Keeping busy, are we? Goodbye, and good fortune.
So, this is Dauntless. For anyone who doesn't know, basically you go out and hunt a bunch of high-level, well, not necessarily high-level, just monsters, and, as you, kill them, you, get their parts, and then you can make things out of them to make you stronger and fight more powerful monsters. And with that, you can go fight harder monsters, and yeah, just so on and so forth. So we're going to hunt Rezakiri because I need to upgrade one of my axes. Hopefully I can get this done. I don't think I will be able to, but maybe I will. If I can, alone, that would be best, because, well, then I don't have to worry about reviving any teammates or anything, and that'd be awesome. But if I can't, well, then I'll just have to play with other people until I can do it alone. Move pattern that I still distinguish, so I get bopped most of the time. But if I can't, well, then I'll just have to play with other people until I can do it alone. Move pattern that I still distinguish, so. Oh, I readied up with people anyway, so hopefully this turns out good. Oh, I readied up with people anyway, so. Just jump on some people's heads, you know. No biggie. Usually, people flare when they see it, but it's definitely not around here, and they definitely could not have seen it, so I don't know what they're on about. Oh, it is here. I'm dumb. Damn, they're getting work done already. Ah, I hit its tail. I'm going for the legs. Sorry if it looks like I'm playing pretty lazy and like a shit teammate. I'm not trying to kill it so quickly. I'm trying to get its arms. I'm not doing a good job of it, but... Ah, shit, I messed up. Ah, fuck. I'm really messing up. Oh, okay. Almost a bad situation there. Oh, I'm dead. I really fucked up this time. Oh, nice. Get a little revive from the teammates. Appreciate it. Alright, that their movement ability, whatever, gets me every time. So pretty fortunate that it's going for the team instead of me. Ooh, get knocked the fuck out. What is up, Laredo? Hope you're having a good day. We might kill it before I can even get any of its legs. Nice. This thing's legs are hard to hit because its head is so much bigger than its body. Oh, it ran away. Oh, nice. Just teleported us to it. I messed up. No, teammate, don't risk your ass just to get me. Ooh, wish I could throw my axe at it. Knock its ass out. Nice. Ah, it was its head, not its arm. That's unfortunate. Well, it's dead. Yep, definitely a C. And unfortunately, I didn't get the parts I needed, so we gotta do it again. But later. We'll do it later. What do you guys want to see? What type of behemoth? Frost, Blaze, Terra, Shock, Umbra, Radiant. Anything's good. I think we'll just go down the list, do Neutral, Blaze, Frost, Shock, Terra, in that order. I don't think we'll do the Dire or Heroic Patrols. Just because, like, I want to provide some watchable content. I don't want you guys to watch me die a million times over. I got a pretty neutral build, so I'm not going to be changing anything up for it. But usually the counter is what you should be going with for armor and weapons. Like, if you're fighting shock, you should go with a Terra weapon while wearing shock armor. That just makes the fight like 10 times easier. But if you don't do that, then generally you're just fine. And you don't have to worry too much about it. But I like to go very neutral, and not necessarily with neutral pieces. Just so the Nasher grips, they're neutral, but the Boreal set is frost. But because I'm not fighting a fire or a frost, it counts as neutral. And Umbra weapons generally are very neutral because there's only one uncommon, generally boss type of enemy that you fight with Umbra or Radiant. So if you're going Umbral or Radiant, you generally don't have to worry about it with the majority of the behemoths in the game. What did we get? I forgot to check. All the more surprising. I really like the axe. The hammer is just as good, if not better. But I like the axe because it's got good cutting potential, good stagger damage, so you can knock them out, and its Grim Onslaught special ability, where you throw the axe, is perfect for interruptions, especially ranged interruptions. Like, we'll see what we got here, but perfect, it's a Shrike. So with the Shrike, if you've never played this game before, which I assume you wouldn't be watching if you haven't played before, but if you haven't, it's got this glide attack, so to speak, that you can interrupt it with. And you could, here it is, this right here, I missed. But if I hit that, it would have been knocked to the ground, almost like it got knocked out, and then it would give me the perfect opportunity to hit it a couple times. Well, I keep getting knocked around. Not a very professional streamer now, am I? Can't even win the game that I'm streaming. Like that. Now it's knocked on its ass, and we can whack it a couple times until it gets back up. The Shrike doesn't have a very long knockdown, so generally I have to increase my attack speed so that I can get a full combo off. That could just be my lack of skill and my inability to play properly, but that's just what I need to play the game. Broke its face there, so I got a Razor Beak and some neutral orbs because this is a neutral behemoth. This right here is the Behemoth Enraging. So it has a different moveset a lot of the times. I just staggered it again. Or it just does increase damage with a higher attack rate. So, generally, if you aren't very, like, confident in your abilities, you want to dodge a bunch while a behemoth is enraged, just because it's easier to dodge a bunch than it is to try and time your attacks properly. knocked it out again. In my opinion, this fight relies a lot on interrupts, so that it's always on its ass, so you can get some quick and easy damage. Especially when you're starting out, it's generally easier to just hit it while it's down than to try and, you know, time all your hits and everything. That's just my opinion, though. Alright, on to Blaze. Some of my favorite and some of my least favorite behemoths are Blaze behemoths. How's the audio, guys? I messed with some settings, so I don't know how the audio is. Gregorio. What do you have for me today, Gregorio? This quest in the top right, Strike at the Root, that's the new, bounty and patrol and, excursion. They added, Terra. They added a new really cool behemoth. Oh, escalation, not excursion, I apologize. Yeah, they just added this, and, it wants me to go kill the final boss, in this excursion. Escalation, I did it again, sorry. It's pretty cool. I think I might do that in another stream, though. Just, giving a general rundown of the game here. And, as the title says, we're just chilling. We're not trying to beat a final boss or anything. We're just getting done what we need to get done. Come on, guys, ready up. It's a Charog. It's not that hard. Charog is, in my opinion, some people disagree, obviously. Everyone disagrees. Hands down, the easiest Blaze Behemoth out there, because though it doesn't have any interruptions, it has shit attacks. It can barely damage you. Even if you barely know its moveset, you probably know its whole moveset. So, once you get the timing down, you got the whole fight in the bag. Here. It's probably in the same spot as the Shrike from last fight. Yep. Alright, let's get this done. Quick and easy. Nice face. Be a shame if I were to throw an axe in it. Oh, I forgot to flare for my teammates. Guess I'm not a very good teammate. Ah, bastard beat me to it. Oh, okay. I'm just getting stun locked now. As you can probably tell, I like to keep in front of the Charog and attack its face, and when I'm alone, generally it does the same few things. One really popular thing is that attack right there. It'll charge forward, and especially when it's enraged, it's got a very quick attack rate. So, unless you can see it coming, you might just get hit with it, regardless of how well you know the fight or the behemoth. Here, it's gonna start spewing flames out of its, well, aptly named, flame sacks. I hit its back, which actually does quite a bit of damage, unfortunately. So, even with my, pretty high level armor, it's not enough sometimes when it's just, you know, spinning. Bruh, I keep hitting it in the head instead of, I mean the body instead of the head. That's better. It should die here. We're putting a lot of damage into it. I think this should be the last combo it has to live. Oh, never mind, it's getting attacked by everyone, so it's running out of my area of effect, so I just can't get another hit in for the life of me. Only an S+. Dang. Little rusty, eh? This is a really good game in my opinion. I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something new to play or just bored in general. This is definitely a nice substitute for nothing. So, I mean, the choice is yours. It is a free game, but certainly has its charms. And unlike a lot of people might say, this is definitely not a Monster Hunter ripoff or anything. It's not unique in the sense that it's got big old monsters that you can fight, but it's unique in almost every other way. Alright, off to a frost patrol. I think I'll go see if I can upgrade any of my stuff.
How are those weapons treating you?
Quite well, thanks, Wills. You certainly know how to make bone into something useful. So, this is a legendary weapon. And it's got a unique effect. All of them have unique effects. And you can bond a weapon. So, this Poisonous Thorn, being a Terra legendary, means that you can, if we have the sword version of the legendary anyway, you can attach any other type of sword that is a Terra, and you can use its special ability, its unique effect, and put it on that weapon. And it also had prismatic slots, which let you fit any type of cell you want into that slot. So regardless of the type, whether it's, I don't remember them, but let's say you wanted to put Parasitic and Overpower on, which are two not completely different, but they're in their own category. On the same weapon, or you wanted to put two of the same thing on the same weapon, you can, because it doesn't have select slots. Like here, on my Dark Watch helmet, I can only put a power cell on. And on my Boreal's Resolve, my chest piece, I can only put a defensive cell on. But with these prismatic slots, you can put anything you want on them. So it's pretty useful in a lot of cases. It helps you pull a build together, and sometimes the legendary effects are kinda, you know, iffy. But the prismatic cells, and if you have a good bond, generally make up for it, if not better than what the weapon you have it bonded to would do alone. So, I mean, a lot of people don't like to use legendaries, and a lot of other people swear by legendaries, so it's something you gotta play with and see if you like, because everyone's got their own opinion on it. It's all about how you play the game, and whether it helps you or not. Unless you're in a team. Generally, if you're in a team, you kind of want something that works with others. So, if you have, like, an overpower build with a Knockout King, then you're pretty much going for a stun lock party, which is really useful against bosses. But when you're not playing with other people all the damn time, you don't really need prismatic slots. It just helps. This is a Scrave, if you couldn't see the name earlier. It's like a Shrike, but, you know, frost, and it's got its own annoying gimmick, as you can see. That right there is a attack, but it's a damage threshold, so if you don't meet a certain amount of damage while trying to interrupt during that, it doesn't work. But that swoop attack afterwards is not a damage threshold, so if you hit it with an attack that can interrupt during that period, you interrupt. So, but unlike the Shrike, it's a lot faster, so. I fucked up. Shouldn't have gone for it, but I did. I ran out of stamina. I knew I should have put my weapon away. It refroze me? Brother. Right in the face. Ah, I couldn't get it. This is the Scrave's gimmick. It freezes you in place all the time, and then you gotta try and wiggle out before it hits you, or you take a little more damage than you would've liked, and yeah, it's just annoying. When it's enraged, anytime it throws those icicle things at you, it does it twice. So, you gotta watch for that. Might freeze you, and then freeze you again right as you're almost out of it. Got its tail and its arm. Awesome. Nice, it's gone. And we got our frost orbs. Perfect. Oh, an S++, don't mind if I do. These load screens, man, they're not long by any stretch, but they're a lot longer than would be nice. Be nice if you could go from one hunt to another, you know? I think I'll use a different weapon for you guys. Give you some different content. You know what I'm saying? Well, we go with a little sword action. How about that? As you may be able to see, maybe not, I don't know, I was going pretty quick. I like Iceborne. It's a very crutch perk, but I like it, because if I screw up and I don't have time to heal, or I don't even realize that I need to heal, it'll bring me back up to 50% health, and I should be okay for a fight here or there. And if you remember my armor for the shock escalation, it's not the best to have a helmet that's weak to this, but because of its level, it's generally okay to go with, even if it is weak to whatever you're fighting. Like this, instead of 125 points of armor, it's only 100 points of armor, because I'm fighting shock, and it's weak to shock. But, again, because of its level, it generally gives me more than enough armor to fight the behemoth anyway. But when you're first starting out, you don't really want to do that, especially if you want to wear a whole set of Terra while you're fighting a shock. Definitely don't do that. It'll get you killed pretty quickly. Hope you're all enjoying the stream. I know I am. Quite a bit. This is actually quite nice. So I'm using the sword, as I said. It just got a rework not that long ago. They didn't really change it up too much, but they definitely made it more combo intensive. Certainly not as much as the strikers, which are a pair of basically boxing gloves. But that bar on the top left, anytime I finish a combo off, like 3 X's or 3 Y's, I didn't want to fight this guy. I'll get a bar or 2, possibly, depending. And then once I get a full bar, I can do one of the special attacks, which deals increased damage or special effects. Right there I held X, not on purpose, honestly, but that used up a whole bar of my, I don't remember what it's called, sorry, but it made me charge forward and deal some damage. With this, you can send them right back at him, and of course the tree's in the way, but if the tree isn't in the way, you can stun him. Like with the Shrike, he'll just get knocked on his ass, and then you have time to deal some damage to him. He's locking me in a little electric prison that is really hard to get out of. Either you have to focus on him and fight in this little space, or you have to just accept it. And I don't really want to just accept it, so I'm hopping out of there. This is his Aether mode, which is kind of like an Enrage mode, but it's got different power-ups and it makes him do different things. I really don't like this fight, so I'm not too good with it, but... I messed it up. I messed it up again. Don't want to get stuck in another one. And he's certainly trying to get me stuck in another one. Oh yes, that's right. This is when you hold down the heavy button. It sends out a nice ray of damage. It can interrupt as well. This is what I mean by stunning him. It's obviously not the best, but it certainly is not the worst, especially with someone as annoying to fight as this. I messed it up again. If you're trying to watch someone who's good at this play, this certainly isn't the place. I'd recommend going on YouTube and watching Odo, or I don't know if he streams, but he's certainly better at this than I am. But if you're just looking to chill, I don't want to say I'm your guy, but we're pretty chill here. I messed it up. That, as you might have seen over his head, those 3 lines, that means you can interrupt. That interrupt is not a damage threshold, so it's not like I didn't do enough damage. I just messed it up. I broke something. Alright, now he's Aether Enrage, so if you have the Aether Hunter perk cell, I don't know, and the Rage Hunter cell, you will deal, I believe, upwards of 75 or 150% more damage, but only a few behemoths in the game both have an Aether mode and an Enrage mode, and even fewer go into both at the same time. So, you shouldn't stack it, but if you do against certain behemoths, it definitely helps out. Come on, charge me. You're not supposed to do it early. You ran away. As you can probably tell, I'm definitely not a sword guy, but... And I can't fight this dude for the life of me. I don't even know his name, if I'm being honest. Don't do that. I'm busy. Come on, man. Oh, wow. What a cool spin. Aren't you fancy? Come on, quit walking away from me. I'm just lighting it constantly, because I honestly do not know what else to do. I should check out my combos while I have the chance. Oh god, okay. Hi. Come on. Alright, he's enraged, but he's not in his Aether form. So here I would only gain benefits, if I had it, from a Rage Hunter cell. Oh, man. I'm just checking my move list. Sorry. Okay, I see it. It's the XXY combo. It is amazing, especially for damage. It's really good for stagger too. Best, obviously, but it is still good. I just can't get that third attack off. What are you attacking? I think I knocked some sense into him. A little too hard. Here, I'll stand still for you. Just for you. Because you don't seem to know what you're doing. Ah. Messed up. Hammer would be really good for this. It's got the ability to shoot a concussive shell out, and it just does a lot of stagger damage. So, if you can, oh sweet, it's dead. If you can pop interrupt with that concussive blast, and then you can get a full combo off, you can almost stun lock it. With a lot of behemoths, actually, well, not a lot. With a couple of behemoths, you actually can stun lock them. Like the Blaze behemoth, it is an Embermane. It goes for charges constantly, and you can interrupt them. So if you get the interrupt, and you get a full combo off, you can stun lock it. And if it manages to get up, it'll probably charge you again. You can just knock it on its ass again, and then stagger it again. It's pretty insane. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Just, had something to do. Alright, so I think we'll, switch weapons again. And, do another patrol. Go with the chain blades this time. They got some nuances to them. They're pretty good. They're pretty fun as well. Yeah, I mean, they're good all around. Not the best starting off. Still good, still usable. but certainly not to the level and quality that you want in a weapon. Until you get it leveled up to about level 5, they're generally mediocre at best. But after that point, you can do some real work with them. I'm certainly not the best with them by any means, but I mean, I can get some pretty fast kill times with them. They do have a little nuance to them, besides all the other ones, where its interrupt is not its Y, it is actually its X. It's light attack, if you want to call it that. So its Y will throw out the chain, but it won't stun. The X is like nice and close. You have to be like right next to the behemoth while you can interrupt it, in order to interrupt it. I'll show you guys. It's pretty weird, but so its X here is just nice and close, and its Y is far. So if you dodge X, you have some iframes to work with, but they're not the best, if you know what I mean. Unless all precision cells, I believe they're called. Well, not all. If you have a +6 from precision cells or armor in weighted strikes, then your Y will be able to interrupt. But otherwise, the only way you can interrupt is with the light button. Alright, I'm remembering it now. Sorry, I'm a little rusty, guys. The chain blades have one of the better, anyway. I can't do it. This here is a damage threshold interrupt, which you can generally meet very early on in the game with any weapon, against a normal Skarn, but I just wasn't in the position to be able to do that properly, so that's why I didn't. Another thing with the chain blades is if you get nice and close, you can do that move with the starter special, I believe. Alright, I stunned it, but it also stunned me. But if you're far away, that ability will actually pull you closer to it to help you get that ability off. I guess I shouldn't have used all the slots, so I would have been able to show you guys. Here, I'll just get another one quickly and we'll show you. So if I'm over here and I really gotta get in quick so I can deal some damage because it's like stunned or something, I just press my special button. So yeah, it's kind of just in an animation there. So I really need to get to it. I just press the right bumper, for me anyway. You might change your keybinds, you might be on a different console, but if I really needed to get to it, I just press that and then I'm there. And if I have 2 slots, I can quickly hop over here and then do it again. And then boom. Quick, easy damage. This combo is pretty much why the chain blades are so good, especially when you level them up. They have a, I don't know what it's called, but it modifies how your weapon works, where this combo here is a lot better because I believe it inflicts extra damage and it does bleed damage on top of all that. So it hits more, it does more, and yeah, that's basically the gist of it. But if you're not using that weapon mod, this one is definitely the better combo. And that combo is 3 X's and a Y. And the other combo I showed you is 2 X's and a Y. Unless, again, you're on another console. If it is the same type of PlayStation, it would be square, square, triangle. Or 3 squares and a triangle. But I might be wrong about that. Don't take my word for it. And I do not know what it would be on the PC. But if I remember correctly, it would be 3 left clicks and a right, or 3 rights and a left. It's one of the two. I apologize for, you know, the very broad description, but unfortunately I cannot get any more specific about it, because I just do not know. When you're first starting out with this, the Scarn might be kind of hard to see, because that right in front of me, as you may have seen, that thing with the whole stuff and things, that's an Aether vent. This right here is the Scarn. And the Rockfall Scarn, the more deadly version, I guess, it's green instead of blue. So for some people this is harder to see, for others the Rockfall's harder to see. For colorblind people, they're about as hard as each other to see. But yeah, you really got to be looking for it because it's so deep in the ground. But once you know what to look for and you know where they spawn behemoths, especially when they run away, they're pretty easy to find. Alright, there we go. Nice little special to finish it off. S++, hey. Got some nice stuff and things. Alright. So, do you guys want me to do anything in particular, or just keep doing what I'm doing? Because I can do an escalate. Probably not solo. I'm not that good. But if you want to see me do anything in particular, I got you. Otherwise, I think we're going to keep doing patrols, just so we can get some crafting materials. We're back. Heck yeah. What else can I show? Got the chain blades. Yeah, hammer. Hammer is definitely one of the better weapons in the game. Some say it's the best, others say it's the second best behind the axe. It's all personal preference and opinion. I think they're both good. I think every weapon in this game's good in their own right. Everything's good at their own thing. But I just think that the axe is a bit better than everything else. maybe not for everyone as fun as everything else. I definitely like the pike for fun, but the axe is fun, the hammer's fun, the chain blades are fun, and the sword is fun. The strikers, not my cup of tea. They're a lot of people's cups of tea. Certainly one of the best weapons in the game. I still don't like it. And the repeaters. They can either be incredibly fun, or they can be the most boring weapon in the game. Because either you have the Twin Suns version from the Trials store, or you just got the regular version. And obviously both can be fun, both can be boring. But the Twin Suns, you really gotta be up close and personal, and you gotta watch what you're doing. Whereas with the other regular repeaters, you could be sitting back about, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 at most feet. And if you're in a team, you don't even have to worry about being hit, because the thing is so focused on the others. Like, if I had the repeaters, I could be shooting at the thing from here, while my teammates would be hitting it melee, and I wouldn't even have to worry about it acknowledging my existence, so... Ah, I messed it up. Now, to interrupt with the hammer, like I was saying earlier, you have to use the Y button, or the triangle, if it translates, quote-unquote, correctly to PlayStation. In order to use the concussive blast. So, that's how that works. And if you have to reload, you just press your special button, and then if you get it right on the green circle, you reload faster. If you mess up like I did at first, you generally just miss out on some damage potential, or possibly get damaged yourself, because it doesn't care if you're in an animation. It's gonna bop you if it can. With the hammer as well, you can press Y while you're attacking to charge up your attacks to deal more damage. And after an attack, you can press the special button again to take back all of your lost ammunition, so that you can charge it again. And then when you finish up your combo, your 3 X's or squares, again, I'm not sure about the squares, and a Y, you can use all the ammunition you have, as you may have seen earlier, to deal a lot more damage. So if I can get another one off, it does an extra 1,500 damage for me, just because I had the extra ammunition in store. And if I was charging my attacks as well, and then reloading afterwards, I would be dealing probably an extra 2,000, 3,000 damage per combo. And this weapon is only level 7. If it was level 10, it would be even more. And if it was level 15, it would be even more. And if it was level 20, it would be insane. So, you just gotta watch what you're doing with the hammer. It's definitely got a slow attack speed, so you gotta time things properly. But once you can get it down, it is insane. back to the island. Alright. Let's see. I think we'll, switch back to this. No. No, we'll use this one, and we will go on to the pike. Yeah, I think I'll use the pike. They're technique cells, not precision cells. This is the God Hand, as you can almost certainly see in the top left. It is a legendary weapon that you have to get a blueprint for. I do not remember where. I believe it's a Rezakiri drop, the behemoth that I was fighting earlier. And the legendary weapons that aren't the legendary weapons, these are uniques. That's what it is. They're, as their name says, they're unique. They're not necessarily better. They're good, but they're not always great. They're just generally more fun. So with the normal pike, with the original special, you have missiles that you can charge up and shoot and stuff. But with this one, you have a laser beam that you can just shoot out. It can't interrupt like the missiles can, but it has similar, if not way better damage to the normal pike special. So, again, it's not necessarily better. It's not necessarily worse. It's good, but not great. So, it's all about personal preference with these unique weapons. And that sword I was using earlier, the Hunger, that's a special shroud drop, which is another boss. And it drains your life as the special ability goes on, but it also gives you lifesteal. So if you can get hits in, you can live. If you can't get those hits in, you're killing yourself while being killed. So it's a give and take with the Hunger. And I know there's other specials, uniques, sorry, but I do not own them, so I couldn't tell you how they work. But they're just like the other ones, the other weapons. They're good, not necessarily great. They're great in their own ways. They're fun. It's all about personal preference. So this is an Embermane. This should be the first thing you fight. And as you just saw there, it really likes to charge. And if you do an attack that can interrupt, well, you can get it a lot, to say the least. And if you time it right, not only do you get an interrupt, but you don't get hit back, so you get even more time to whack at it. I messed it up. Now, you may be wondering what those red numbers are. You haven't seen them before. You haven't seen them from me yet. I don't know. But those are wound damage numbers. And if you can see that blue right there on his leg, that means that that part is wounded. It's extra damage. I'm not sure how much extra damage, but that's how that works. And this is the special ability of the God Hand. It's cool, definitely cool, but it's not necessarily better than being able to shoot a missile out that deals like 1500 damage and could interrupt this dude right here. So, if you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't have to, because It's its own special weapon with its own special thing. I just think the God Hand looks the coolest, and I just like the laser beam. I think it looks dope, especially with this costume I have on. So, that's just why I use it. Ah, bastard ran away from me. Hello. Good to see you. I messed it up. Almost had a great streak going there, but I messed it up. This should be the combo that kills it. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna stun it, and then this one is. Yep, there we go. Hope you guys are liking the stream as much as I am, because this shit's fun. If you guys have any other ideas for any other games, do not be afraid to tell me. And, don't be shy. Say hi. I'll, gladly respond back. Alright. Let's go on to the repeaters I was talking so much about. I'll use the normal repeaters for you guys, just so that nothing gets confusing. Well, it might still be confusing, but... Now, a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the repeaters, but, honestly, I think everything here is good and amazing. It all just depends on, like the legendaries, personal preference. Like, if you want to stay back, scoped sights is an awesome mod to use. If you want to hit the same part, like if you're really going for parts for a weapon or anything, then fucking precision sights is amazing. If you really feel like you're getting caught just because you're slow, then the lightweight frame is amazing. Extraction catalyst, I don't know how often I use it. I haven't played this in a while. But reducing your ability cooldowns by 2 seconds every time you dodge through a behemoth's attacks, that's pretty insane. And if you want to use capacitive magazine, where anytime you use an ability you get 4 bullets back, and you're always shooting, that's 4 more bullets of damage, which could be the difference between you winning a boss fight solo, or any fight for that matter, or losing that boss fight because you couldn't get that last bit of damage in before they got back up and started attacking you again. Now, one problem with the repeaters, unless you have cells on it, which I don't know if that even helps much, you can't stagger. And if you want to use the captain's grip, you can't interrupt. So the reason I'm using the Saber's grip, if I remember correctly, the name anyway. I know I'm using the right grip, I just don't remember its name. You have a mine. Now, you have to get up close and personal with the repeaters, and you have to reload next to it. You can either do that by pressing the trigger button while you're out of ammo, or pressing the special button while you're close to it. Regardless of ammo capacity, if you press the reload button, you'll reload. And that empowers your weapons, which means you deal extra damage, and your abilities either do extra damage, or they do something special, along with extra damage. So you need to empower your weapons, and then you need to toss your mine out. Only then can the empowered mine interrupt. If it's not empowered, it doesn't work. If it's not the mine, you literally cannot interrupt. Which I won't be able to show you, because this guy doesn't have an interrupt that I'm aware of, but that would be how you stun without that would be how you interrupt without the normal means. So that's just me empowering my weapons. You can tell when your weapons are or are not empowered by the glow on them. Only when they're empowered will they actually glow. So, if you're not sure whether they're empowered or not, just check your weapons. If they're glowing, they're empowered. If they're not, then they're not. So this guy's special. When he enters his Aether form, like he is now, he takes reduced damage. So you have to fight these things that he calls to his side and get these charge things on so that you can actually damage him. And if you hit him enough with the charged up shots from these things, well, not necessarily shots, they could be attacks too, then his Aether form will break and he'll take normal damage again. And if he isn't in Aether form, you just deal more damage when you have these things empower you-ish, kind of. Like, they'll just make you do increased damage, so. Oh, nice, yeah, just hop in the way. See, I'm hitting for a normal 167. With one of the boosts from these guys, I just did a 367, so. It definitely helps. But it's only for this fight. It's not because I'm using repeaters or anything. It's just because I'm fighting Boreas. None of his pets are around, so. Yeah. Up close, I believe I do like 180 damage or something, but because he's in his Aether form, I'm only dealing 57, 30, you know. That's why you definitely need to get this dude, out of his Aether form as soon as possible, because, he doesn't deal a ton of damage, but he does not deal a lack of damage either. So, if you can get him out of it in like 2 seconds, try, because you need it. In my opinion, anyway. Also, if you break any parts while he's in this form, I believe anyway, it should get him out of it. But I could quote that. Don't quote me on that. But I do believe that's how that works. Alright, sweet. And its minions here, these glowy ones, they throw things at you. And if you line yourself up in the right way, they will hit the Boreas and it will damage him. There is a quote-unquote friendly fire for behemoths and small enemies like that. But not for players. Players do not hurt each other. And there's no PvP in this game that I'm aware of, so you don't even have to worry about hurting your friends, or enemies even, anywhere in the game. Alright, well, that's the repeaters. Good weapon all around, but not the most fun for some people, the most fun for others. All personal preference. Oh yes, the strikers. Now we shall do the strikers. Definitely one of the better weapons in the game, if not the best. I just don't like them. They've got too much stuff to them, in my opinion. They're not very new player friendly, and yeah, that's just my opinion. But they're definitely strong. They're definitely good. It's just if you yourself think they're fun, and if you yourself think that they do what you want them to do. Drask is, in my opinion, certainly easier than the other two behemoths you could get on a shock patrol. But that's, once again, my opinion. Some people think it's the Nazaga. I don't know anyone who thinks it's the other guy, but... So, if you look in the top left under my health, you'll see 3 bars, a big bar, and 2 small circles. Those are all abilities-ish, and all buffs? Yeah, buffs. So this increases my attack speed. I'm not sure if it increases my damage, but in order to get each one of those little bars there, you need to do a different combo. which is why some people think they're incredible, and me personally think that it's kind of ass. But the whole shtick with this weapon is that you keep doing the combos over and over again, and you keep dealing more and more damage, and they're really good for stunning, just like the hammer is. So you can very easily stun lock a behemoth if you are good with the combos. So that's why they're really good for getting trials done. They're really good for taking into escalations. They're just all around really good weapons that I do not like. And because they rely so heavily on, you know, timing and not getting hit and killed and stuff, I'm terrible, as you can tell. They're not very new player friendly. But once you figure them out, which I obviously have not, they could really carry you through any content at all. They are very stamina heavy weapons, so you really gotta watch that. But as long as you really manage your stamina and make sure that you're not dying all the time, that sort of thing, they can't really lead you astray. It's just like, if you can only get like 2 or 3 hits in, and then you get hit, and you lose your combo, you lose your health, all of that, not only are you pretty much down a weapon and out of your health, you've also pretty much just lost the entire encounter unless you've got teammates to revive you. So that's why I say, if you can manage your health and your stamina so you can still dodge, you can still take a hit, and you can get your combos off, these are hands down one of the best weapons in the game to be using. I just don't like them. Messed it up. Alright, awesome. Quick and easy fight. Well, it wasn't that easy, I'm kind of bad. But still. Good weapons. Quick kill times. Obviously not when I use them. They just take the right person to master and to play them properly. So, that's pretty much all the weapons. That's most of the non-special behemoths. I think I'll go with the go to 2 non-special behemoths, and then think we'll end it there. But if you guys want to see, again, anything at all, depending, I'll check it out and see what we can do. I think I'm gonna go back to my regular and then we'll head out. So we got Radiant Behemoth, Valamir. Not a hard fight by any means, not easy by any means. It's a very moderate fight. Its weapons are okay. Its armor is okay. It's just a very okay behemoth in general. It's definitely got some mini boss vibes to it, but definitely not boss status. Even its heroic variant isn't that incredible. If you guys are enjoying the stream and you think you missed one, you probably did, but you can either check the videos on my stream, or you can check the videos on my YouTube channel, and you'll see what we were doing in those other ones. Certainly not as fun as this. We were playing Dead Space earlier, seeing if we could beat it in one stream. But that's not as fun to watch, you know? It's not as fun to play either. But if you're looking for some horror for yourself, I'd recommend it. But if you're looking to see me get scared, it's fairly uncommon playing those types of games. They're pretty predictable. But if you guys can think of any game that you think might scare the shit out of me, I am open ears. I would love to play it. This is perfect that it's nighttime, because this dude, Valamir, focuses entirely on light, so you'll get to see all the fancy schmancy colors. He's gonna teleport away, and he's gonna teleport somewhere else. Oh, right in the same spot. That's pretty uncommon. Gonna release a whole bunch of little bead things that are a pain in the ass, because they deal damage, but not an insane amount of damage, but they build up, so they deal a lot of damage just because there's so damn many of them. That's his pretty general attack if you get too close. He just sends a nice light shockwave into the ground, and then that damages you accordingly. Like I said, he's really not all that exciting. That's probably his most dangerous ability. Because those beams, even with my armor that I've got on now, still deal 500 damage to me, so... Definitely gotta watch yourself around those things. But it's not too insane of a fight. It's not easy, it's not hard. Normally when he enters his enraged state, if you aren't dodge spamming like I am, he'll kick you out and he'll make a bubble around himself. And then if you can break the bubble in time, you can damage him, and if you deal enough damage to him, you stun him. And that's his interrupt. But if you cannot get through the bubble, you'll have to deal with a bunch of those laser things that I was just saying were pretty dangerous. So if you get hit with any of them, and there's like 8 of them, that's like 500 damage to you. And it just makes it a pain in the ass to try and get out, so that's why I was dodge spamming, just so that I get stuck in his enrage with him. And then that let me stun him, and now he's already almost dead. It's only been like a minute or 2, maybe, so. You used to be able to throw axes through radiant enemy shields. They changed that, so you can no longer just cheese your way through this fight. But it doesn't really change it that much. If you can deal damage, you can deal damage, and he's not that hard. It just takes time. See, I don't know if I made it. I did not. So now I'm stuck out here. And there's like 8 of these things, and if I get hit by one, as you can see, it does a crap ton of damage, and I'm basically dead. But if I could get through this here, and then hit him, I could possibly stun him, and then interrupt him, and then we'd have the fight in the bag. Well, we pretty much have the fight in the bag regardless. Yeah, we got the fight. So, you can dodge spam to get into his enrage, get a quick interrupt, or you can just try and stay alive outside of the bubble, as you saw me do. Trees, great cover. Just don't get hit with the lasers, and you'll be fine. Alright, time for one of the more annoying fights in the game. Rift Stalker. The Umbral, quote-unquote, mini-boss. Just need these load times to be better, man. Then I can get you guys the content without all the waiting. Alright. Off to Rift Stalker. The normal version isn't terrible, but the heroic version is pretty difficult in my opinion, especially if you're trying to solo. And if you don't know how Rift Stalker works, I guess, he's a pain in the ass. But he's not too incredibly bad once you know how he works. He's more annoying at that point. He's always spinning around, going through portals and shit. It's just not fun. And if you're looking to find people to do this with, good luck. When I first had to do this fight, I could not do it alone. So I went to Matchmake Search, and that took me, I believe, an hour and a half of searching to get a squad who was actually able to do anything. And it took me like 20 minutes in between each just to get people, so it's not a popular fight, but it's a mandatory fight, so. And I have yet to fight Rift Stalker on any map other than this, so, if you get it on another map, I'm sorry that you, might have memorized this map, because It's certainly different on other maps, if this is on other maps. As you can tell, it is basically a cat. Alright, so now it's hopping through a portal, and then it hops out of another portal. And you can tell that it's hopping out of a portal, even if there's more than one, because it's pink on the inside. Very, very pink. And you can interrupt it while it's coming out of a portal, if you get it in time. Alright, it's already bringing me into the Shadow Realm. I am not Jimbo, but I am still in the Shadow Realm. So that's how it fucks with you. It'll send decoys out after you, and then it'll show a big old pink portal, like I said. And then it'll just come out, and if you can bop it in the head, only the head will interrupt. Then you can avoid taking any damage, and you can possibly stun it. But if not, it's no real biggie. It's just more annoying for yourself. When it's bright purple like this, it's in its Aether form. So Aether Hunter is a good choice when it's like this, for the increased damage. It rarely enrages, at least in my experience. So Rage Hunter isn't the best choice, but you can still take it. It does sometimes still happen. Wow, just had to prove me wrong, didn't you? When it does enrage, it just does a whole bunch of spinning and shit, and comes out of portals very quickly. It itself moves very quickly. It also has an interrupt. They added that not too long ago. You could interrupt, it just didn't have the, like, notifier. It's better if you don't have a pike to just avoid it. Like, just try and dodge it. If you can't dodge it, then oh well. But if you can dodge it, good on you. Once you get up close in its face, it really likes to do that. And then it'll pounce on you and probably do a spin. Yep. So, you just gotta look for these things, and then you should be fine. I messed up. Yeah, see, it's really hard to dodge. It's really quick. It's just a pain in the ass, really. Guess you can also see in the top right, what kind of state it's in. If it's blue, it's, Aether. If it's red, I assume, it's enraged. And if it's both, it's both. This fight is, definitely a good one to bring Aether Hunter on if you're making a build specifically to fight the Riftstalker. But again, that's not always the best choice, so, you know, the choice is yours, but trying to take me back to the Shadow Realm, are ya? I don't want to go. Thanks for tanking the hit for me, bud. You do need tail pieces to make most of the Riftstalker weapons and upgrade them. They are incredible, so I would recommend you try to. But if you can't, then oh well. Okay, that's hands down my least favorite part of that attack. It hits a little further behind Portal than you'd think, so you do have to watch for that. But if the game doesn't hate you, generally you don't even have to bother looking for it. You can just do circles and you can outrun this attack. It does follow you though, so it will go to wherever you're going, not where you're at. So you do have to watch out for that. Alright, let's go. So that's a Riftstalker. That's pretty much all the patrols, all the weapons. I think in the next stream I'll do all the behemoths. Yeah, you can give me any suggestions. I'll probably go with them. And yeah, so I think that'll be the stream. I appreciate you all coming. And yeah, I guess I'll see you all in the next stream. Thanks for coming. Hope you